So hello guys and welcome back to Chess with Ayush, and guys, a happy International Chess Day to everyone watching, and I hope that you are also following my chess videos and enjoying these chess. And guys, on this auspicious day today, I'm going to teach you 5 new chess rules which you might not know if you don't follow the chess that frequently, and I have also got to know them recently only, so I would love to share them with you. First of all, we all know that how a game starts, it begins with a handshake. So always starting a game with a handshake is considered really good and really sportsman, and if you don't start the game like this, it's not really good, and sometimes the game might also abort because of that. And it's also in the FIDE rule book that you must do that. Second of all, I will tell you how the pieces are positioned, but before that I will tell you how, in which side they are kept, on the left side, on the right side, according to you. So the numbers here are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are proceeding like this from this side. So the white piece will be kept here. And here we have ABCD. So it is also starting from the left to the right. So the white piece will be kept here and the black piece is there. And now we'll see that where the king is positioned. So we know that it's the bishop, knights and rooks and the pawns, how they are positioned. But many players are confused that where to keep the rook and the queen. So as this is a rule that the colored king, like if it's a white colored king, it will be kept on the dark square, and if it's a black colored king, it will be positioned on the white square. So this is also a rule. So second of all, I'll tell you the rule of castling. So I have taught you this many times that what is castling. So I will first make up a position in which both sides are ready to castle. Okay. Then get this knight out also. So both sides are ready to castle, and if you don't know what castling is, you can watch my other chess terms video. So the castling rule is king goes here and the rook comes, jumps over the king and come here. But this is not that simple. There is also another rule. You have to first hold the king, get it to the square, then hold the rook, jump it above the king and get it here. Same with the black side, 2 squares here, jump the rook. So what I want to teach you here is that you first don't have to bring the rooks here. You have to first get the king and with the same hand get the rook. It's not that illegal if you don't do this, but it is also considered as an international rule and most players do it like this. And here you can see a clock. And you must know that international games are always held with clock. You might not play with clocks in your daily life or when you are playing with the brothers or sisters, but clock is definitely needed when you are playing an international game. So this is a clock, it hasn't started yet, so it's actually a digital clock. I don't have a normal clock right now with me. So how it begins is that we know that white pieces begin the game begins with when a white piece move. So first of all, black will start the clock, and after the black touches its timer, the time starts for the white pieces. So white makes a move, touches the clock. Black makes a move, touches the clock. So as they make their move and they stop they click on the timer, the time stops for them and rather starts for the opponent. So, and if you run out of time, you can lose the game. So this is also a rule that you might not know. And guys, it's not over yet. There's another rule in the chess about the clock. You are playing like for example, you are really in a hurry. Both the sides have only 30 seconds each. You cannot play like for example, if it's my move, I cannot play like this. This is not a rule. You cannot play like this. That's called that's a kind of a cheating and it's illegal. You have to make your move with the same hand and turn off the clock with the same hand. For example, black plays this, uses the same hand. You cannot be like play with the left hand, turn off the clock with the right hand. You cannot do that. So that is also illegal. So guys, now it's the time for the 4th rule out of the 5 rules. So right now we can see it's the endgame position. Most of the pieces are being exchanged. Both sides have 6 pawns, 2 rooks and the king each. Here we have 3 connected passes which look really solid. These are 3 isolated pawns, and white have 2 connected pawns here and 2 here, and these are 2 isolated pawns. So right now we know that isolated pawns can be really helpful in the end game. So it's white to move, and white does not want to exchange this pawn for this pawn here. So to avoid that exchange, white plays pawn to a4, and it looks really natural that now he has avoided that pawn and it can advance further. But guys, it's a rule in the FIDE rule book, and it's an official rule that if a pawn is in front of you or is or while you are moving. Like in castling also we saw that if bishop is cutting over that in the way of the rook and the king, we cannot castle. It's a similar rule. If you are moving a pawn twice or even single move and you are cutting it from the way of a pawn, you cannot simply advance that. You have to fight with that pawn. So if we simply advance it, it's a rule that even though there is nothing here, but it was cutting the pawn here, so it can easily capture it here and the pawn will be gone. It looks really weird, but guys, it's a rule. For example, this happens, you can take here and this pawn is gone. And now this pawn is simply queening, guys. So this is a really strong rule, and if you don't know that, even I made this mistake against my brother several times and he taught me this rule, and even I was really shocked and I couldn't believe that there's actually a rule. And so guys, I hope you will not make this mistake any furtherly. I can teach you this rule with the black pieces also. For example, here black wanted to push this pawn and avoiding this pawn. He can push it like this, but guys, as I told you, it's not possible because this pawn is cutting the way of this pawn here. So he can capture here and this pawn is gone. And guys, now it's time for the fifth and the last rule. Like for example, later in the game he did en passant. This pawn is gone. And guys, by the way, if I didn't tell you, this is the en passant rule, and it's spelled like ENPASSANT, like that. So for example, if here white missed this move and he got en passant, then this pawn is just queening. For example, later in the game, something like this happened. The rooks got exchanged and these rooks got exchanged, and then this queen got, and a queen is made, and this is a completely losing position for black. So black can design, and on designing also you must handshake with the other point like this. It's also a rule. And after the resignation in official games, we might think that okay, the game is over, we can rearrange the pieces. But no guys, if there's no further game in the tournament or wherever you are playing, you have to place the kings, like for example in this position the black has won. So the pieces, first of all the piece will be in their position only. So these are center 4 squares, and the king, like the black king has won. So both the kings will be on the black pieces, black squares, which will determine that the black has won the game and the white king has surrendered. So guys, this was the 5 terms on the International Chess Day, and I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something new. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, do subscribe my channel and hit the like button. Thank you.